In one of my recent videos, I actually made this beat. It's just a sample pattern. Let me just real quick show you how it sounds like right now. There are a few different ways on how we can add drums to this beat, but the most common ways of doing it is either by one-shots or by using a drum break. I actually got a drum loop right here, which I think sounds pretty cool. Just gonna show it real quick. But I feel like the kick and snare are not exactly what I'm looking for, so we're gonna use one shots for that. But there are a few things from this drum break which I want to use, and you could go ahead and chop this up on beat, so you know you can just rearrange this loop. The way I like to work with drum breaks is make it to one shots, and it's actually very simple within the MPC, because you can just go to this chop 2, and instead of going to manual, you just select threshold and it's gonna create one shots for you. So let's just make this a new program. So now we got it loaded up here. So with this drum break, there are actually only two sounds I want to use, and it's one, the hi-hat, and then this kind of fill snare. I kind of want to emphasize on this exact hi-hat. So therefore I want to use this to kind of go around the kick and snare and use the pockets that the kick and snare will create. And then this fill snare I want to use as a fill snare, and just to go kind of like, you know, something like that. So you know, we got these two sounds. Now we just need the kick and the snare. And to that, let's just make a new track, and we want to go to program select and go to program 1, which is a empty program, and let's add a kick and a snare. Personally, I just use Splice. It's not sponsored, I just really like using it. And when it comes to adding drums to a melody, I think the most important thing is sound selection. You really want a kick and a snare that fits both the beat itself objectively, but also fits your vision, like the destination where you want this beat to end. But you know, let's just test a few different kicks. For example, I like this. It's very subtle but very deep. It just really sits good in the mix right now. So now we actually have everything we need for the drums. I usually like to start with, you know, just putting in the snares, so we kind of get the main rhythm of the beat going. Next thing, we want to record the kick. I really like this kick. So I really want to put the focus on the kick, so therefore I don't want to have a, you know, let's say a standard kind of kick pattern. At the same time, I don't want to overcomplicate it, because I want the beat to breathe, and I also want to put the sample at the main focus and then put the kick right under that. The way I like to do this is just to start recording and just put a kick on every one of the beat. Just like this. Next thing, I would try to find more pockets for more kicks. So let's go ahead and listen. Yeah, let's just go with that actually. Let it breathe in the beginning. Something like this. So basically what I'm doing here, especially on this part and on this part, I'm basically using the kick to kind of restart the loop, because we got this very, you know, this it's almost like a piano note playing, a very deep piano note playing on every single bar. So therefore I kind of want to start fresh and prepare the next bar. So we kind of use the kicks to help us navigate in the beat and go to the next bar. So I feel like especially on this bar, you can kind of hear what I mean. it just really helps to bring out the downbeat even more. And you know, that's kind of what I'm going for. Next thing, I would want to add a hi-hat, and we got the hi-hat from the drum break from the beginning. So let's just go back to track 3. And I feel like, you know, something we could do about this hi-hat to maybe even, you know, just to help it be a little bit better as a one shot, we can go into the sample editor again, select the pad, and then we can use this button which says fade out. Just do it. It just makes it a little bit more tight, which just helps this to be a proper one shot. Also, I want to pitch this hi-hat a little bit down, but let's just take the whole thing because we're only using these two, and I also want this to be pitched down. So let's just go to global and just take it down 3. Maybe only 2. Only 1 actually, it's just 1. What I want to do with the hi-hat again is just kind of go for every downbeat, or put focus on the downbeat. And I will do that by only playing this after the second snare of every bar. So basically like this. So let's just record that right away. Basically, as I'm hearing this hi-hat in this pattern, I can basically hear that this part works really great because the kicks hit right in between these hats. So listen for it. And I feel like this is a, let's call it a short pattern that I really enjoy, but you know, I don't want to change the kicks right now because I feel like the kicks need to be a little bit unpredictable to make this beat work. So therefore, I'm just gonna add another hi-hat right here. And then I want to throw the listener off a little bit by adding another hi-hat right here. So we get this. And now I want to go in and listen to the whole thing again and see if there are other places where I want to add a hi-hat. Yeah, let's do that. And actually, now that I listened to it a few times, I honestly don't like the set, so I'm just gonna take it out again. And this is very crucial when you are programming drums. Keep listening to the loop and take things out that you don't like. Try to realize when something is just not feeling right anymore. Next thing, I think I just will add this. And I want to turn this snare a little bit down because I really want to let it sit in the bag. So therefore, I'm just gonna select the pad and just turn it down a little bit. And let's listen to the loop again and, you know, try to find some pockets for it. So right in the middle of every bar, there's some room for it. So let's just freestyle. This is also something I like to do, you know, just go with the flow, you know, see what the result will be. So let's just record. I don't want to have things hit at the same time, so let's take out these. And also I want to pitch this snare a little bit more down, but just this. So let's select the pad and take it down. And let's add some more snares back here and see what we get. Last thing I want to do is put in a open head. Let's turn it down. Let's pitch it down. Maybe here. Yeah. I just really wanted to have it in the background. Yeah. Let's just record this. In the last bar, I actually think I want to have 2 open heads, so let's just record this bar. No, I actually want it like this. Yeah, this is good. So it actually turned out better than I wanted it to be, you know. And things like this, you know, randomness, accidents, this is really what makes beats special. Maybe we could try to put this open head a little bit earlier, see how this sounds. Yeah, I like this, and just take the velocity down a little bit. I think this will do for as drums for this beat. Generally, I think it's very important to note that, of course, not every beat is the same. Not every sample can use the same drum patterns and the same drums. And also, you know, just try to do accents to the whole beat. Instead of going for a 2-step hi-hat pattern, which, you know, is cool, it works, I use it a ton. You know, sometimes just play a hi-hat like this, you know, just do accents, just underline the whole beat. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. Let's just listen to it one more time.